Dear Salt of the Earth viewers, we have a gentle reminder for you.
As we all know, we are going through a difficult time, COVID-19, coronavirus, and we all need to keep ourselves safe from it.
There are a few measures that's been advised by the local authorities, and one of them is wearing a mask wherever possible. It could be when you're shopping or when you're on a public transport.
The second thing is social distancing. Keep 2 meters away from anybody who is not from your household so that we are safe from COVID-19. Thank you all for listening. Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Salt of the Earth, a program by Media Commission of the Catholic Syro-Malabar Eparchy of Great Britain. Today we are going to bring you another saint of the Catholic Church. As you all know, the structure of this program is like this. We will be presenting the life of a saint in the Catholic Church, and there will be 5 questions asked which you need to send in the answers to us. In the last few weeks, we are getting tremendous response from a lot of people, and you have been sending the correct answers. But unfortunately, the first respondent with all the correct answers get the prize. And as we announced earlier, if you have sent correct answers consecutively for the first 10 episodes, you can claim to be included into a lot where, if you're lucky, you will get a prize. The last week's questions and answers were: I know you are waiting to know who the winner was for last week. You know the format to send in the correct answers. The format is now showing on the screen, as you can see. Answer number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your name and the name of your mission. And the number to send the correct answer via WhatsApp is also showing here on the screen. Now it is time for us to listen to the life of a Catholic saint.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all having a nice Friday. Today we travel back to the 16th century Hispania, Spain, to talk about a Catholic priest and a theologian whom at one point was a wounded soldier daydreaming on his sick bed, who co-founded the religious order called the Society of Jesus, also known as Jesuits. Today the society is engaged in evangelization and apostolic ministry in over 110 nations on earth. Today we talk about St Ignatius of Loyola. Ignatius was born as the youngest son to a noble and wealthy family on 23rd October 1491. By 1517, at 26, Ignatius became a knight in a service of his royal relative, who employed him for military undertakings and diplomatic missions. He stood under 5 foot 2 inches in height, and in his early years, Ignatius was a proud and sensual man. While defending a battle against the French, Ignatius was hit by a cannonball in 1521, and the 30-year-old sustained a bad fracture of his right leg and damaged to his left. After treatment, he was transported back to Loyola. However, his condition became so serious that for a time it was thought he would die. Slowly he came out of danger, but then he chose to undergo a painful surgery to correct blunders made when the bone was first set. The result was convalescence of many weeks, during which he read a book on the life of Christ, a book on the lives of several saints, and that was the only reading available around him at the time, which is why he read it at the first place. But reading these books drew him closer to Christ. As he covered, he was a knight, a soldier, who fought the battles on ground. Now he was ready for a different kind of battle, a true fight against the darkness within him. He felt he had a call for Christ. This fight against the darkness within him makes him relevant in our times too, as man's fight against the darkness within him is ageless. In 1522, Ignatius bade farewell to his family and went to the northeastern of Spain for pilgrim. He spent 3 days in confession of all the sins that he has done in his life. He hung his sword and dagger as a knight near the statue of the Virgin Mary as a symbol of his abandoned ambitions, and in sackcloth spent the night of March 24th in prayer. He lived as a beggar, ate and drank, and scourged himself, and for a time neither combed nor trimmed his hair, and did not cut his nails. He, however, attended daily mass and spent hours and hours in a cave in Manresa. While sitting one day on the banks of the Cardona River, as per his autobiography, the eyes of his understanding began to open, and without seeing any vision, he understood and knew many things, as well spiritual things as things of the faith. At Manresa, he sketched the fundamentals of his little book, The Spirit. Until the close of his studies in Paris in 1535, he continued to make some additions to the Spirit. Thereafter, there were only minor changes until Pope Paul III approved it in 1548. All the books written by Ignatius were indeed an adaptation of the Gospels. The final period of Ignatius' life was spent in Rome. In 1539, him and his companions decided to form a permanent union, adding a vow of obedience to a superior elected by themselves to the vow of poverty, chastity, and obedience. In 1540, Pope Paul III approved the plan of the new order. Ignatius was chosen as the office of general. The Society of Jesus developed under his hands. When he died, there were about 1,000 Jesuits divided into 12 administrative units called provinces. Ignatian spirituality is a spirituality for everyday life. It is rooted in the conviction that God is active, personal, and above all, present to us. It insists that God is present in our world and active in our life. It is a path to deeper prayer, good decisions guided by keen discernment, and an active life of service to others. As Ignatius put it, all the things in the world are presented to us so that we can know God and more easily and make a return of love more readily. Ignatian spirituality places great emphasis on discerning God's presence in our everyday activities of an ordinary life. It sees God as an active God, always at work, inviting us to an even deeper walk with Him. Indeed, Ignatius' spiritual revival focuses were more of the heart than the intellect. It holds that our choices and decisions are often beyond the rational and reasonable. Its goal is an eager, generous, wholehearted offer of oneself to God and the beautiful work that God is involved in. Ignatian spirituality emphasizes interior freedom. The distinctive Ignatian prayer is a review of the day's activity with an eye open towards detecting and responding to the presence of the God. Spiritual Exercise is one of the most famous books written by St Ignatius of Loyola, and in there are 3 challenging reflective questions to help everyone to deepen their spiritual living. Question number 1, what have I done for Christ? Question number 2, what am I doing for Christ? Question number 3, what must I do for Christ? Ignatius was canonized by Pope Gregory XV in 1622. In 1922, he was declared the patron saint of all spiritual retreats, and his achievements and those his followers form a chapter in the history of the Roman Catholic Church that cannot be neglected by those who desire to understand that institution. May God bless you all.
Now we have the question time. Let us listen to the questions.
So now let's welcome the first question we have. How Ignatius was introduced to Christ while he was sick on his bed? What is the name of the society Ignatius began? After the second question, now we have the third question. Any one of the two books mentioned in the program written by St Ignatius? Fourth question is, near what statue did Ignatius hang his sword and dagger as a symbol of his abandoned ambition? Fifth question is, in 1922, Ignatius was declared the patron saint of what by Pope Pius XI?
We hope all of you are enjoying this show, and in the next episodes we will bring you another saint of the Catholic Church. Till then, goodbye. May God bless you all.